Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ginger Broderick, and I'm the host of the Ginger New York TV show. Welcome to Ginger Fridays at M&N TV Studios. We are live here during our summer series. We're so excited to be here. We have a professional musician. He's a bass player, and y'all know I'm learning how to play the bass guitar, so it's really exciting for me today. His name is Johnny Pisano, and he's a professional musician. He's friends with Alex Alexander, who is a great drummer who was in earlier this year, and he brought him along. So Johnny, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
Wonderful. Alex, welcome back.
Ginger, great to see you again.
Hey.
Thank you for having me back.
Wonderful. You guys are really popular. Like, favorite musicians on my Ginger list is
right.
Alex and Johnny.
Awesome.
So I was really
great.
excited about today. I'm learning how to play the bass guitar.
Yeah, that's great. If you ever need any pointers or whatever, I'd love to sit with you.
Yeah,
no problem.
thank you.
I love that.
I'm still like learning the bass lines and stuff, but I'm at class every week.
No, there's a thing I really do want to pass down, like my philosophy on bass, and not everybody might agree with it, but I would love to pass down that to
Wonderful.
you. Yeah, sure.
Wonderful.
Ginger's a good bass player, I can vouch for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, your love of drummers will help you play bass. I
Yes.
promise you that. Yeah.
And Alex, thank you so much for coming in today, bringing
Thank
in
you.
your friend.
Happy
and
to be here.
Huh?
Happy
Oh,
to be
great.
here.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. You guys just got back from Canada, too, I
Yep.
understand.
Yes.
Tell us about your
Yeah.
trip to Canada.
Not together. We actually were
together.
there
He
separately.
was in a separate place.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Yukon, right?
You were in the Yukon, right? And I was in Bruce Peninsula,
Right.
Oh, I don't know
which
where
is
that
in
is.
Ontario, which is north of
Ontario. I
Ontario.
have to look it up on the map. I'm geography
Yeah. Well,
challenged.
Ontario's more like where Montreal would be
Okay.
and stuff like that, and Quebec. I was on the complete other end, on the west coast.
Okay.
If you go up near Anchorage and take a longitude line
wow.
over to the British Columbia, over the Canada border,
Oh.
I played a festival
Way
called
up
the
there.
Atlin Music Festival.
I was
Yeah.
following you on Facebook. I saw the great
Yes.
photos.
Amazing.
And even one of my questions was, are you flying on the seaplane?
I was. They
And
offered us to go see the glaciers. So I took a fixed wing plane into the glaciers, and then we landed in the glaciers, and then I found the other band who was taking a helicopter, and we swapped. So I took a helicopter back.
Wow.
Yeah,
You got some great video. I saw the video.
Oh,
just
man.
priceless. It really puts a perspective on life.
You
Makes you-
disconnected from the world? You didn't have any Wi-Fi until you
That
got back
was-
to the hospital?
The hospital.
The
Luckily, there
hotel.
was no hospital involved. Yeah, there was only Wi-Fi at the hotel and backstage. So it was refreshing to be disconnected like
Good
that.
for you.
Good question. So, because you experienced that and seeing the glaciers and everything, did that affect your performance later that day?
It did. It had me a bit more relaxed, and it just made me feel like what it's like to be an ant on this planet and to appreciate this planet. He also, the helicopter pilot, was explaining how the glaciers are melting and everything is melting, and that the shoreline used to be way over there, and now it's way over here.
Wow.
When people say global warming doesn't exist, I found proof that it did.
And did everyone in the band get to go on this ride?
They were offered.
They were offered.
And I was the only one who said yes. We had 10 minutes to make up our mind. And
Wow.
I raised my hand so fast, and I thought about Alex, and I said Alex would have been raising his hand even before me.
Really?
I've been dragging you along.
Yeah, this is all about, I was even
I
thinking
would
about
take
you. in the
11 minutes to decide.
plane. Yeah, I didn't care what I was wearing. I'm like,
Good
yeah, I'm
for
going.
you.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and
Absolutely, yeah.
I really admire people that have that get up and go. I grew up in the Midwest, and we didn't travel very much, so I'm a little hesitant. I was like, helicopters
Yeah.
are scary. And
Well,
what
I had a
happens
gig
to you
at 5 o'clock, and this was at 2.
Wow,
So
so
I needed
it's
to make
pretty
sure I was
close.
going to be back for that, but part of me, I was like, don't worry, but just go. Just
Good for
make
you.
this happen.
That's a
Yeah.
great attitude to have
Yeah.
in life. Good for you.
Which is his attitude as well. That's why I was thinking of you.
I'm glad some of the touring together rubbed off on you.
Yes, absolutely.
You guys used to be in the same band together and
We used to
travel
play in
out?
the same band, and I was always the one like, let's go to this museum.
Good
let's
for
go
you.
here. Let's go
He's
there.
traveled
Yeah.
all over the world.
He's a great influence on. He knows how
I
to
bet.
travel, and we've been in multiple projects together. Yeah.
And I followed your trip to Africa about a year
Yes.
ago.
Oh,
Wow. I mean, I was
amazing.
like, wow, thank goodness for
It was
Facebook. I get to.
life-changing, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I learned so much about this planet and people, and also about going back to basic living, no TV, no phone, just the most basic of life. And I got used to it quickly. It was good.
Yeah.
The one thing that was impressive with me is the touring through those slavery caves.
Yeah.
I was just
right?
going to
Where
say
they
that.
all-
Yeah.
Heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But one of the things that impressed me, you did, you bought all the school kids backpacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I bought them pencil sharpeners.
Sorry, it's pencil sharpeners.
Pencil
I know there was
sharpeners.
something. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't have them.
The supplies.
And
Could you
for
imagine that?
me, that's nothing. So I just bought like 50 pencil sharpeners.
Did
And
they
I-
question you at
No, they
security?
were just happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were just happy that
Good
the
for
kids
you.
were very happy to receive them because they were using blades in the school class. I mean, I couldn't see these kids with a blade anymore.
There's a program now, I'll find out for you, where you could donate, they give you do these benefits for money, but they give these kids bicycles because there's a certain area in Africa where these girls have to walk a far way to go to school and they're getting raped on the way. So if you give them bicycles, it'll get them quicker and less chance of that happening. Yeah, so I want to be more part of that and stuff like that, yeah.
Well, good for you guys.
Well, now let's talk about clowns.
But you've influenced
yeah.
me. Hang around, you guys. I've created some musical influences for me, and I've taken singing and guitar lessons and
Wonderful.
stuff like that. And you have a new album out. Tell us about
I
that.
do. It's not brand new. It's been out a little while, but I used to play with the drummer of the Ramones. After the Ramones retired in 1996, he didn't want to stop. He didn't want to retire.
Marky?
So Marky Ramone, he created original band called Marky Ramone and the Intruders. And I wrote with him on the second
you.
record we created, and we were going to do a third record. And I was writing for that, and I was showing him the songs backstage wherever we were in Germany or South America. And he was liking what I was writing. However, we never made the third record. The band disbanded before that. So I had these songs sitting around literally for 20 years.
Wow.
And I had some half written, some written. And everyone, to me, it just seems like everyone has a fantasy of doing something other than what you're doing. And I always had this fantasy of making my own record, just like a lot of people, but a lot of people would procrastinate, not do it for whatever reason, or they'll do it and it'll take them 10 years to do it.
I had someone who actually thought on a project for 40 years until he passed through my show.
Yeah, you
And
see.
then he acted on it.
New Year's Eve comes around, everybody's like, I'm going to eat right, I'm going to become a vegetarian, I'm going to go to the gym. Like, yeah, right, for a week, it just doesn't happen. He had a fantasy from being a drummer to being a producer. He made it happen.
Yeah.
I've watched it happen, and he's a great producer.
And
Yeah.
he's worked with some of the toppest,
Yeah.
I learned from the best. I've seen
Yeah.
some
Yes.
amazing producers.
You, you got
working.
to record with David Bowie.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah,
serious.
With Tony,
Pretty amazing.
thanks to Tony Visconti, and watching Tony work.
Good for you.
Amazing producer, yeah.
And,
he helped me produce my record.
Well,
We
that's
produced it together.
wonderful. Wonderful.
And so I wrote more songs, and I said to myself, I'm either going to do it now or it's never going to happen. I'm not getting any younger. I'm going to make this fantasy come true. And these people that we play for mainly, I didn't even know if they were into punk rock or not, but I didn't care because I wasn't catering these songs for anyone else but myself. This
Good
is
for
my
you.
fantasy. They're either going to like the songwriting or they're not. And it turns out at the end, I've had a bunch of people say to me, I wasn't really into punk rock, but you got me. I can't get that song out of my head, that song out of my head. So I did.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm punk rock challenged, but I've been around a lot of punkers. Even the original punk designer from the Lower East Side's been through here. And it's amazing to listen to the stories and behind the scenes. I'm an early Beatles kind of chick,
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, it's great.
So,
The Beatles played it was skiffle, but it was kind of punk
Skiffle.
rock at that time. And so they were also very rebellious at the very beginning.
avant-garde.
And
Yeah.
to me, any music that is a rebellion, that you have something to say that most people are afraid to say, that's punk. Bob Dylan was a punk.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not necessarily just a sound. It's more of
It's a
an
movement.
attitude.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is
I
a
can
movement.
understand that.
Yeah, but I'm going to quote you on Punk Rock
You touched
Challenged.
me.
I touched you. I am going to quote you on that. I'm Punk Rock Challenged. That's the greatest line.
Tell the story of you guys in Brazil with Marky.
Oh, yeah. So, well, back in the 70s in New York, the audience would spit on the bands if they liked you. So, for example, Wendy Williams from the Plasmatics, she would cover herself in nothing but shaving cream or just like tape on her nipples or something. So, she would rub it in. It was crazy times back then. So, but in South America, they never let go of that. And we
Oh,
did up north. So I would play certain shows in Brazil, and these kids would start spitting.
Ugh.
But as soon as they know I didn't like it, they stopped spitting at
Oh,
me,
is
and
it-
they were spitting at security or whatever. But then we played in Argentina, in a place called Cemento in Buenos Aires. And they told us, they said, listen, you guys got 1,500 people here tonight. You're doing great. But they all drink milk and eat cheese before the show. They are prepared. So if the edge of the stage was
Music
there.
has changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, oh my God. I moved the mic stand way back and the monitor way back, and there was a, what do you call that, a barrier? So there was another 3 feet past the stage.
Wow.
They still were hitting me. They were hitting Marky about the drums. They were so good at spitting. And there's a video where you see the band, and you just see these little things lobbing, and you're not sure what it is. I could tell you what it was. We were covered in
That's
spit.
amazing.
So I guess they liked us.
That's.
But that I had.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I love that story. That's
Yeah.
great.
Wow.
That was 1998.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's always important for people to learn music of the youth because, there's all these different movements. You have to embrace it. And, just like maybe the 20s and 30s music wasn't appealing to me, I've
Right.
learned to embrace it, and then pass that.
That was the rebellion of its time, actually.
And, I was watching a lot of your videos, and I noticed that you jump a lot during your performance.
Yeah.
Like jump high and do the splits.
That's known to happen at times.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think we have a photo. If the control room can roll in a photo so they can see. Look at that.
He's like a Mexican jumping
That,
beat.
that came from the punk rock days. And that photo is for the record, for the new record I have in there. Kira Caverno, the photographer, in order for us to get that shot, because it looks so good, it looks photoshopped. But I can tell you, Kira laid on her back on the boardwalk at Coney Island. And I did a couple of jumps, we did a couple of shots. She said, you're not getting high enough. I want to know what we could do. So I grabbed this disgusting garbage pail, flipped it upside down, moved
Oh.
it, stood on top of the upside down garbage pail and leaped straight off of it. And that's how she got
And
that
she
shot.
got the crotch shot.
She got the crotch, which you wound up underneath at a lot of shots. There's some pictures of me jumping. You see,
I hope your pants didn't
drum
split.
underneath. I got these lycra kind of things going on.
That came from the punk rock era that the
Yeah.
Lycra did, yeah, and then
Yeah.
now it's all in our fashion, yeah. That's really, I'm really impressed with that because I'm splits challenged, That's really awesome. So you have this album out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to play some of the music or should we play the video first?
I would love. You could play the video. It's like I said. There are people. There are different genres of punk, and there are purists, what we call them.
Interesting.
Purists in blues will turn around and tell you,
Oh.
"Oh, you can't play that riff because it's not a real blues riff." To me, I think music is open and there is no rules. There's
fusion.
no such thing as right or wrong when it comes to music. To me, I think there's just good or bad. And when it comes to punk, there are people that say Green Day's not punk, certain people. So I don't really pay attention to them. This record is not all punk. I like the name, Johnny Pisano's Punk Rock Pizzeria. I kind of built
Sounds
it around
very
that.
Brooklyn.
But yeah.
Sounds very Italian too.
Yeah.
Right.
But like there's
We're having
songs
pizza
like
after the show. I'm sorry,
Oh,
I don't
no,
mean. I'm
that's
sorry,
okay.
I just touched you. We had this whole big thing before the show about touching.
But like My Love I Love is not a real punk song, and I covered a Willie Nile song, which
Okay.
is an anti-gun song.
Okay.
And it's called One Guitar, and I called it One Guitar Mon. And Alex
Oh,
played on it. We did
okay.
a slideshow video type of thing, and that's
We-
what you're about to see.
We recorded it in Brooklyn with Dave Steckert,
Yep.
who was engineering,
Yep.
and we had a great time. And you can see this video was shot with us in the studio having a lot of fun.
That's really
Yeah, it
great.
was a blast.
It was the middle of the night, right in the middle of my street. It could be uptown, downtown. Can you feel the beat? There was a marching drum. There was a song unsung. It could be my dream, your dream. It's not the only one. 'Cause I'm a soldier marching in an army. Got no gun to shoot, but what I got is one guitar. I got this one guitar, and it goes na 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 na. I see the rising smoke. I hear a heartbreak choke. Hey, all my brothers and sisters, I think it's time we spoke. I've only got 6 strings, but like a bell they ring. It's like a jet plane, insane, crashing in my brain. 'Cause I'm a soldier marching in an army, got no gun to shoot, but what I take a stand for all the outcasts at last who need a helping hand. So get your tambourine, tune your amps up loud, and raise your voices up above this crowd. 'Cause I'm a soldier marching in an army, got no gun to shoot, but what I got is one guitar. I got this one guitar. 'Cause I'm a soldier marching in an army, got no gun to shoot, but what I got is one guitar. I got this one guitar, and it goes na 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 na
Yeah.
That's really cool.
All right.
Yeah,
Haven't-
congratulations.
Thank you. I haven't seen or heard that in a while. That was Willie Nile. He cameoed in his own song. Had him come down and sing and be in the video. And Tommy Mandel played amazing keyboards and
Yeah.
the horns, and he's just an incredible player. And Matt Hogan, I think he might have been a little hungover in that video. He came down and played. That was him with the hat. And,
I was
yeah.
wondering, how do you recruit everybody to come in?
I got them.
Hmm?
I got Tommy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
and Tommy's got, I mean, platinum records on his wall from playing with Bryan Adams and so many other amazing artists. Yeah, and Dave Steckert put that slideshow video together for me as well.
So everybody
as
works
the
together
artist
as a
studio, yeah.
collaboration?
And Vogel, Dave Vogel, the other guy who owned the
Yes,
studio.
Dave Vogel. That's
Wow.
right. He owns the studio.
Yeah, great guy, great people.
That's
and I was so happy to be a part of that, because this was supposed to be for benefit for the T.J. Montel Foundation. Willie Nile's manager had this idea: a bunch of people will cover the song, one guitar,
Oh, interesting.
as a ploy to people to, you know, stand up for your rights type of thing. And I don't think that ever happened. But the
They
fact that I
tried.
get- yeah, they
Yeah.
tried.
We
But
did our part.
We did, and it came out great.
Yeah.
That's how it came out, really good. Yeah, yeah. And that jump, see all the jumps that they put in there? Yeah, so that wound up, I have a friend of mine, John Favorite, he wound up making a t-shirt out of it, and a bunch of people wanted that. So now I'm on my third or fourth order of t-shirts that I've been selling. And you can get the t-shirts online. Yeah, I have an Etsy shop, so if you look
Oh,
up
good.
my name, Johnny Pisano, JOHNNY If you look up Etsy, you'll see that I sell CDs on there and t-shirts and this type of jewelry.
Yeah, good for you.
From Tina Murphy that we both wear.
Wonderful.
Sometimes we are her models for her jewelry.
That's awesome.
Promoting small businesses. Yeah, whatever. It's just a way. There's no way for us to get our music out there these days. You kind of have to really push and do it yourself, and we rely on word of mouth.
That's right.
So that's, you know, because Spotify and, you know, no one's paying us for our writing.
incredible.
You know, we get 9 cents every, you know, year.
Yeah, I've
You know,
heard
3
that.
cents,
It's terrific. But
Yeah, yeah.
we really appreciate the work that you do, and
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons I do my show. And,
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And
Yeah.
I don't get paid for it either, but I do it out of love and passion for it, and opportunity to meet you guys.
we
and-
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you going to play for us today?
So yeah, I just put this guitar on during the break, so obviously something's going to happen. I don't want to pigeonhole myself into just punk rock.
Uh-huh.
I like all kinds of music, and I'm going to be recording stuff with you.
Yeah.
That's going to be danceable stuff and some other type stuff. I have big band ideas with this other guy. He's got all the instruments right at the tip of his fingers on keyboards that are really great sounds, horn sounds, and. So I had written this song. A friend of mine, Karen Medlin, and her husband, Steve Medlin, they have a daughter who's got Rett syndrome. And
Tourette's or Rett's?
No, Rett. It's
Rett.
R-E-T-T, yeah. What, a lot of people mistake it for autism.
Oh, boy.
And there are a lot of people out there with Rett syndrome, and people like yourself are not even aware of it. She can't really, her motor skills are real rough. She can't speak for herself. And like autism, and like, I could even go with the song, I even went broader. People with ALS, people with Parkinson's, people with muscular dystrophy, they can't speak for themselves, they can't move for themselves. So I wanted to write a song from their point of view, what they would say if they could speak. and I used Taylor as a spokeswoman. Rett syndrome mainly attacks females.
Oh,
If a male is born with Rett syndrome, they die at birth. It's because they wound up with all the symptoms at once.
Oh.
So yeah, it's really rough. And I had this idea, and I wanted to, you know, start the song, finish the song, and this. No one's heard this. Maybe 5 people total have heard this. So this is my.
a
This will be the
debut?
first time I could either
Oh.
screw this song up or make it sound like something.
I'll stay
Anyway.
out of your way so I don't get hit in the
That's
mouth.
fine. So anyway, this is called Taylor. If I could move my legs, I'd run right to you. If I could use my arms, I swear I'd hug you. If I formed the words, I'd say, thanks for all you've done. You know it ain't no fun. I'm trapped in here, it's kinda like a prison. Taylor says she's dreaming, she's going on believing that someone finds a way to keep her going. Taylor says she's alright and says she's feeling fine. Take a little time, look in her eyes. When you stroke my hair, I feel your patience. Then I lose control and I can't help it. It's what you see in me, it's unconditional. It's all emotional. I only wish that I can let you know. Taylor says she's dreaming, she's going on believing that someone finds a way to keep her going. Taylor says she's alright, she'll keep up the fight. She just smiles and says, I'm doing alright. When I clap my hands, you know I love you. And when I tap your arm, I want to know you. And when I raise my voice, it's just to let you know that I am here as brave as I am strong. I let it show. Sing for me, mama. You know how it makes me smile. Sing for me, papa. You know how it gets me. Just sing. Annie says she's dreaming, she's going on believing that someone finds a way to get her going. Carly says she's fearless, as strong as in her mind, trying to find a way for a better life. Bobby has a reason, he won't be defeated, 'cause the light of day, it shines on in his eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I meant to mention, Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we have a great
Oh,
audience today.
20 million of you.
We got a big audience today.
So at the end, I wound up mentioning a good friend of ours, Bob Benjamin, who
Yes.
suffered with Parkinson's
Oh,
disease for a long time.
I can't even imagine.
And he has
that.
there's a foundation called the Light of Day Foundation, which me and Alex have played many years. And Bruce Springsteen comes on stage and plays a song with us. So we've played with Bruce a bunch of times.
that's cool.
And
It's a great cause.
it's a great
It's like
cause,
once a
yeah.
year or something. I know
Yeah,
the tickets
in
are very
Asbury Park,
expensive. Oh.
They can be, yeah. But
Yeah.
the whole neighborhood gets involved. It's
Yeah.
not just that one show that we do. We
Oh,
also do
okay.
the Stone Pony and Asbury Lanes and in the House of Independence. Even a restaurant will have bands in it during that weekend. Yeah.
I finally got down to Asbury Park last summer. That was the first time. I've been on the East Coast for 35 years. I've never been there.
It's been up
Yeah.
and coming for a long time. It's really good. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's really wonderful. We had some young students here, music students, and the teacher brought in a cerebral palsy student. And she sang her heart out. She had a lot of, he said she's very smart, but very motor skill challenged.
Right.
And we were all like in tears listening to her. But I said, you got to give her a platform. She's locked in that body. And you use
Yep.
that phrase, you know.
Yeah, I had the idea, and I figured if I could finish it, because
Gosh.
I write so many songs, I just don't finish them. I have ideas and stuff, but this one I'm like, I have to finish.
Yeah,
And I was
it's
sitting
wonderful.
in a hotel in the UK in October,
Wow.
and I came up with the idea, and I was like, well, what would it, if they could speak, what would they say?
Wow.
So I'm,
God bless you. Well, we're actually down to our last minute of the
All
show.
right, great.
Oh, my goodness.
Lovely. That went by really quick.
Yeah.
Isn't that something when you have fun?
Yeah.
You can always come back. And we'll want to get that second tune after the show.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You could get
Yeah.
that second tune on the record.
Okay.
There you go.
Where do we find you? Where do
You can
people
find it on all the platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and my website, johnnypisano.com, JOHNNYPISANO.com.
Wonderful.
As well as,
Wonderful.
Facebook and all that other good stuff. Yeah.
Thank you, Alex, for bringing in your friends.
Happy to be here, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Johnny
Wonderful.
rocks.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for
You got
coming
it.
in, Alex. Thank you for coming in. Thanks, you
Thank
guys,
you.
for, I know you've been traveling around the world, and we got them in here on the show. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. My name is Ginger Broderick. I'm the host of the Ginger New York TV show. We are here every Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. Thank you for joining in. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Yeah. Woo, woo.